Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to more Factorio, not 15. I'm out of red science, which is interesting because, I haven't gotten my green science up and running yet. We're going extremely slow so we can take in all of the possible new changes, and honestly, there hasn't actually been that much new changed. We're just building ourselves a giant fucking smeltering array right from the beginning instead of, building something small to get started with. But that is fine. We'll get down to business today. I am going to link up the copper. I'm not going to show you the whole process of running belts and all that shit because you should be well aware of it. And I am going to, expand the iron. You know what? We still have the copper one working, so let's just work on iron for now, shall we? Let's head down here and pick up some more more mining drills. Yeah, it's done. And I don't have much iron left in me, so this is basically what we've got for mining drills. Looks like we've got about 100. Yeah, 100. That's pretty good, though. That's a lot of drills. And our objective here is going to be, we might have to move this. Yeah, we might have to move that coal. We'll decide in a little bit, though. We don't have to know all the answers right now, but we do have to make decisions. So, in our world, we're gonna have, how many was I doing? 5? Yeah, I was doing 5. So if I did 5, 6, 7, 8, I still need a 9th over there. The thing is, that's too many. That's a too many, is what that is. Yeah, I still need that one there, unfortunately. But on this other side, I think now we can reduce it, so we can just go straight to the left from this point on. So it'll make things a little bit simpler on us. This one can actually go here. So that'll go like that, and then 1, 2, 3 on this side. Okay, there we go. So that's how this is going to be. We're going to have one more come down this way, and it's just going to merge in. We're just going to merge it right on in is all it's going to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So all we need to do is run a happy little belt this way, and we're going to take it right down here, and we're just going to merge it in. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to do that and tap like that, and there you go. That's all there is to it. It's as easy as that. And then, you know what? Let's just merge these two lines again. I think I had a splitter on these at one point to merge them together, and then I got rid of it. Let's just do it again. This is fine. These will not saturate these two lines. I might even be able to make this work with one line. But we're going to run 2 just for safety's sake. And that's all we needed to do. Nothing else. That's all there is to it. This is going to have to move into a different position. I'm not going to be able to keep this balancer where it is. Actually, that's going to be really awkward to do. It's going to be really awkward to do, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We're going to be just fine. Let's run some belt over this way. I'm not going to run it too far just yet because I don't know how I want this to lay out yet. And then we're going to want to, I don't know how many we can, I guess technically, well no, we could go here because this tile is being mined by the drill behind it. So we could do this. So then we only have 6 across. That's not bad. That's pretty good, in fact. But the problem now is that if I put a mining drill here, it's going to mine right onto that, and that is a little bit awkward. So it might be better to actually start from up there and make our way down. So we're going to get a little crazy here. We're going to get a little crazy and have a little fun. We're going to change the pattern of our mining drills just a smidgen. So basically we need to keep one tile behind it. So we'll just go like right there, right? Yeah, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to go down here, and I can afford to put this guy. He doesn't have to be here. I could actually put him down 1, and then that will fully cover everything. If I put him here, there's going to be one row right through here that's not going to be mined. Unless I put some other drill in that position. Of course, if I put him here to do this, I'm going to have 2 belts right next to each other. But that could be fun, right? On the bright side, this will mine out the entire patch eventually. And that's our objective. We just don't want to leave that one little itsy-bitsy row in there. This is going to look like a horrible abomination, and I am sorry for that. But it is the way it is, isn't it? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should be okay, but we'll split this one or merge it, whatever, why not? Okay, so we're set. Now all we need to do is get these 3 belts into here and merge everything together, and that is going to take me a little bit of time to redesign. I'll be back once I figure out exactly how I want to do it, and you know, we get daytime so it's not super fucking dark. I'll see you then. Okay, so we have a horrendous and absolutely terrible merging system built here, where we're basically just sending our belts underneath and sending these belts through and then just merging them in with the lamest merge you ever had. There is no balancing on this merge at all. We do balance the belts that come through here, but there is 2 very key things. First, these 3 belts can back up, so if they oversaturate this one belt right here coming in, then well, not this one. I guess it's technically these. No, sorry, this belt right here. I'm crazy. If they oversaturate this belt, which is the 5th belt that I've added in, then they will back up and they won't actually supply their loads into this section. As long as everything's running smoothly, it actually balances relatively well. The other noteworthy thing is I have added a 5th belt into here. I just pulled it out of here. Note that because of the way that this merges, it is only pulling ore from these 3 belts as well as this one right here. So these 3 belts here never make it into steel production because it happens pre-lane balance over here. This is extremely not balanced. It was just something I threw together in 2 friggin' seconds to make this work. We might come up with a more elegant solution in the future, although I honestly don't think so because all the miners are mining and we don't have any backups on miners here. So this is maximum ore throughput as it stands, and they're balanced enough with a little bit of favoritism to the steel, it looks like, which is perfect. And that gets our steel up and running as well, so our steel industry is good to go. It's G2G, GTG, G whatever. So we're good. Our iron mines are going full steam, and we have full saturation of this iron patch now. Because of this little tricksy tricks in here. It is going to mine these tiles out a little bit slower because we don't have another set of drills on it that we could afford to. But on the bright side, it's going to... You know what? This is only taking half a belt each. Yeah, that was stupid of me. This was really stupid running this on 2 belts. When I ran it on 2 belts, I was thinking the logic of, oh, well, it's got 6 miners. It's going to have 6 on each side. But it doesn't. It only has 6 on one side each. This is stupid. This only needed 1 belt. I could have just merged this and it would have been fine. Honestly, it didn't need 2 belts even if it was 6 on one side. But whatever. We're a little crazy here, so we did it the way we did it. And it's horrendous, but it's going to work for us. So now we need to tie the copper in, and that means we're going to need to get copper mines everywhere. The coal is going fine. This is stupid here. We're going to have to fix that in the future. I didn't need to rerun this yet. I might need to for the copper. I don't know yet. On the bright side, we have steel and iron producing, and we're just going to let those backlogs fill up. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to start laying out mine. You know what? No. Before we do that, we're going to get rid of all this iron ore by dumping it in some of these smelters. We'll dump it in the steel smelters, because why not? Might as well, right? Yeah, it looks like the coal is going well. We're going to be using a whole... No, not that one. We want this... No, we do want this one. It's got to be iron plate smelters. We put iron plates in the steel smelter. Ooh. Let's build an inserter and get rid of that orphaned coil. But what I do need to do is come up here and grab some plates. Oh yeah, check that out. Reason we need plates is because I need to drop them inside of our building down there in our chest to build more stuff. Once we get a build anything factory going, we'll be good. But yeah, a lot of these drills aren't even running. We're so saturated on coal right now. We need this factory going again because we need more mining drills. We're going to need a whole bunch more. We need to, well, we're not going to saturate this copper, but we're going to get a bunch on the copper. So you need a whole bunch of that. You need actually a whole bunch of copper and then a whole bunch of that. I think you actually need more copper than you need oh no, that's for you. You need more copper than you need iron. But I don't need red science anymore, so that's basically useless. Yeah, you know what? Let's just fill this guy up and let's get some more transport belt going as well. Why not? That means I'm going to go and grab myself a little bit more iron because we can. Then we're going to set up, I got 22 plus 50, so I still have a lot of miners. We're not going to use all those on copper right away. I don't need as much copper production. I don't need to saturate these smelters yet. There is no plan for immediately saturating these smelters. We built really big, knowing that I wasn't going to use it right away. Oh, that's brutal. What I do want to do, though, is mine out all of these resources in this area, and then I could build like train stations in this area, and use those train stations to load this smelter up. So let's head on down over here, and we're going to get ourselves a little bit of a copper mine going. Similar in concept, I'm going to build it. I'm going to take apart this, and then we're going to build our copper mine out, and it's going to be smaller than the iron mine. We're not going to fill this whole patch. There's no need to go that big just yet. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Here's the copper mine. It's nothing too crazy, but like I said, it's going to be smaller than the iron mine. We're just going to get some copper in there. I only have 3 belts, and they're totally not saturated belts, feeding a 4 belts balancer here to bring the copper up. So they're not going to get hit hard. We are not going to be making crap tons of this stuff. We are apparently making only 600. We were making like 20,000 iron per hour, apparently. We got an achievement for it. I'm pretty sure I already had that achievement. Maybe I didn't, though. I've been playing a lot of modded Factorio, and before I played modded Factorio, I played non-Steam. So if it's a Steam achievement, no, it was a Factorio in-game achievement. Oh, you get them for every map, right? That's it. You get those Factorio in-game achievements on every individual map. So we're just going to have a trickle through of copper for each of these smelteries. On the bright side, though, it is way more copper production than we had before. Like, miles and miles and miles and miles ahead of the copper production we had before, and it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be... It's not going to be outpaced by what I'm going to use for a little while still. So now we have smelteries fully operational. We're using currently 6.1 megawatts. We are polluting a good bit more than we were before. And we get to start building our factory, our actual factory. So first thing that I'm going to need to get on the factory is belts, inserters, well, belts, underground belts, splitters, inserters, long-handed inserters, fast inserters. Maybe we'll do some filter inserters too. Green circuits, huge deal. Or is the recipe for green circuits is still the same? Yes, yes. 1 iron, 3 copper, 0.5 seconds, and yeah. So it's fine. It's all good. The recipe is the same. But other things I want to put on this are lights. Assembly machines, assembly machine 2s, well, mainly we're going for assembly machine 2s, electric mining drills, and then science. We need to get red and green science going as well, so that's going to be fun. We're going to want steel chests, yeah, and poles, you know, but not these poles. We're going to want green science so that we could get the next level of pole. In fact, should that be our first green tech research? No, our first green tech research should be advanced material processing, right? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's going to be electric energy distribution, so we can get our better poles and stick them on the bus. Well, not on the bus. Get them built in our Build Anything factory and stick them in a chest, because I don't want to have to stick wood up there. That would be awkward. Very, very awkward. And an assembly machine to turn the raw wood into wood boards and all that. That'd just be silly. Apparently I had detail views off. Okay, so to that end, I'm going to need myself some assembly machines. I'm going to need myself some all kinds of good stuffs. And we should be good to just build now. So let's get rid of some ore. Oh shit, I'm going to need lots of transport belt. Yeah, okay. Ore first. One thing at a time, Liz. One thing at a time. You're excited. It's Factorio, not 15. You've been waiting for freaking ever. But one thing at a time. Coal as well. I don't need all this coal. Let's dump the coal in these smelters as well. Build an inserter. Get rid of that. I don't need all of this stuff. But I can hold it. It's fine. it can stay in my inventory for now. It's not gonna hurt me that much. Let's head down here and get ourselves some more belt, because we're gonna need it. We're really gonna need belt for this. Looks like we finished that off. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. We're gonna need even more belt than this, I'm sure, because we're gonna be building 2 buses with 4 lanes on them each of raw materials, which is a huge, 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 huge amount of belt in the long run, especially once you extend it out a long way. Brick. Let's go take a peek at brick too while I'm here. We're just gonna fill our inventory up. Do I have brick yet? Like, I must have filled this wall chest up, and I must have some brick, right? Yeah, the brick is all backed up. So not only do we have a bunch of walls, we have a bunch of brick as well. That's perfect. I'm gonna take as much brick as we can hold. And what do I want to get rid of? I got a chest nearby. Yeah, I got a chest here. Let's get rid of some stuff. Let's get rid of a few things. What do I want to dump? I want to dump me these. Oh, we got a lot of furnaces here. Holy crap. We're going to dump this, and I could probably dump the stone, but no. We'll hold it for now just in case. And I'm going to want to put my drills away, but I'm going to want to bring out the brick so that it's on my quick bar. Very good. And let's head up. Very important reason we want this brick here. Now, should I put brick underneath the belts or brick under? I think we're going to put brick underneath the space in between the belts because that makes more sense to me. So how do we want to run this, and where do we want to build? I think what we're going to do is we're going to loop the copper in this way, loop the iron in this way, and have the steel go straight up. No, maybe not. Maybe we'll loop the steel, and maybe we'll have the iron. Okay, so we'll have the iron, the first 2 rows go right through here, and then the next 2 go on either side of it, and then the copper will be beside that, and the steel will be on this side of it. So to accomplish that, what we're going to do is, where do I want to do that? So that means we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where I'm going to want iron to be, right here, and like that, basically. So to accomplish that, we're going to literally just loop this good guy in like that and up like that, and the same over here, except no, don't side load, that's not what we want to do. And then here we're going to draw it from this side, and we'll draw it down to where we need to be, and it's gonna go something along the lines. Oh, wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I just missed it. Whew. I was like, where the hell is this one? And then we get that. And then we'll bring the other one in as well. And these should self-regulate. I mean, I'm not fully saturating these as it is, and I don't have a fully saturated income coming into it. But if we were going to fully saturate these, if I do bring myself to do that in the future, then, oh, that's not what I wanted. That's definitely not what I wanted. What I wanted is way over here. We way overshot again, just like we did last time. Okay, so let's get rid of those because I don't need them anymore. On the bright side, it was just coal. Coal is no big deal. That's going to do this, and then we're going to get the steel up, but I want to leave at least, what, 2 spaces? Yeah, I want to leave 1, 2 spaces between that and the steel. Super important that you always leave. Oh yeah, we're still actually loading up steel into the chests. See how much slower we're producing steel compared to those guys? In fact, I am going to limit the steel to this and steal that. Teehee, get it? And actually, yeah, you know what? I didn't have to steal that. I can leave it there. There we go. And now the steel, whatever we produce, is going to come down the bus. We want 2 spaces in between because those 2 spaces are what we need in order to put underground shit in, right? And now we need over here 1, 2, and we're going to go up, 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 and up. Yeah, just like that. We're just going to paint it in, just like that. And same deal here. Even though this is not really likely to ever need it, we are going to just do this like this, and you actually go up. So there's 2 spaces here, 2 spaces here. We're going to maintain that 2 space gap wherever we go, and that's all she wrote. Actually, you can go into that, and now you get a new one there. There you go. All right, so now you're going to be a copper line. Every time I think about copper line, and I say the expression copper line all the time when I play Factorio, and every time I think of it, I think of James Taylor. You've probably noticed a lot of Bob Ross references in these videos, just because I find Factorio super relaxing. It's like the joy of painting for new age PC gamers and all that kind of stuff, right? It's like the modern joy of painting for us in a lot of ways. But James Taylor, if I have to go like relaxing music, as relaxing as Bob Ross is, such a nice voice, all that kind of stuff, happiness, James Taylor is right up there. So these chests are going to fill up. You know what? Let's limit these a little bit more aggressively. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's limit these a little bit more aggressively, just like this. I don't have to click anymore. I can actually just drag, and it happens now. That's fantastic. So that, but apparently it didn't work. Oh, because I was out of range, wasn't I? Yeah, I was probably out of range. That's better. I wish it would say the limits on the tooltip when you look at it. That way you don't actually have to go into these. But now it's going to result in us getting a little bit more copper because these inserters aren't going to pull it. In fact, this chest is done, so only half of the stuff is getting blocked here. So it doesn't look like much is coming through. But remember, these inserters are pulling a lot off. Like, that's how much copper is actually coming through. The inserters are bringing it down to this. So that's good. Okay, so here is the start of our bus. And I told you this is going to take a lot of belt. And I wasn't kidding. It's going to take a lot of belt. But that's okay, because we have a lot of belt. And this we can run up a little ways. We don't have to start building anything right away. In fact, I think I'm going to run it up to about here. That way I have room to expand onto the smeltery a little bit if I want to in the future. So we can just like expand these belts up to, you know, maybe here. Maybe not that far. Maybe something more like that. That's probably appropriate. And that way we can expand the smelteries if we want, just a little bit more. And again, this is extremely expensive on belt. The downside of having a bus like this is that this is a bunch of storage. You got to think of belts in Factorio as storage. Whatever's on a belt is being stored. It's not being used. It might be used in the future. It might be being brought to somewhere where it's going to be used, but it's not being used right now. We are storing this much iron on this belt between here and here. So it's sort of like a buffer in a sense. If you did build chests for your buffer, well, you know what? Your belt can be a buffer as well. Chests are a much bigger buffer, and I do not recommend building buffers in Factorio. Again, one of the big things about building buffers, like one of the reasons you might want to do it, is because it will always keep your output line saturated. If you build the buffer correctly, it should saturate whatever your output lines happen to be, whether they be yellow belts, red belts, blue belts, whatever it is. Have enough chests and have enough inserters to saturate them. The downside is that doesn't mean that you have that much actual production coming into it. So the output might always saturate as long as you have, you know, something in the buffer. But the input might not be able to keep up, and you'll end up running out of materials. You can end up deceptively using more than your means, spending more than your means. It's like having a credit card at like age 18, you know, you just got your first credit card and you go out on a wild spending spree. Yeah, that's what having a buffer can be like sometimes. And you generally don't want to do that. It's not the smartest way of playing in the world. Although, you know, you can make buffers work for you. You just have to know what you're doing, basically. It's not too complicated. It's not rocket surgery. So what we're going to do here, on the right-hand side, we're going to start building some circuits. And then on the left-hand side, we're going to start building some other stuff. So yes, I'm going to do both sides of this bus. Generally, I don't recommend using both sides of the bus, but we're going to use this side here to build up some circuits, and then we're going to feed them through and stick them on 2 lines, either next to this steel or just here. I don't know. but we're gonna do that right away. So how are we gonna want to accomplish that? Circuits. I need me some assembling machines to do this, and we want assembly machine level 2s. Yes, I need circuits in order to build both assembly machines, so I really need to get started on these. So we're going to start with 2 stamps of circuit production, and I'm going to show you what our stamps of these are going to be. Each one's going to use 5 assembly machines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we're going to need. We're also going to need a whole bunch of splitters, more than what we have, that's for damn sure. Let's get 2 more sets of those. That'll be 10 more splitters, and we're probably going to need a couple more underground belts. So let's make like 10 more of those, which is actually 20 more underground belt, and I think that will do it. And of course power poles, which we have access to. Whoops, as it is. We're just going to wait, hold on. I have them in my hand. I have 47. I press Q. They go here. I have 47. Oh, I thought I had more power poles in my inventory. I was like, it should fill anyone's in my inventory onto here, but no, I only have 47. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to build the stuff that we need for that. See, the copper line is now saturating, so that's good. There's furnaces here that aren't even working. Oh yeah, tons of furnaces. More than half of my copper smeltery. Looks like only about 1/3 of it is actually running. So that is good. I mean, as the lines back up, these ones will start running, because these ones aren't going to be able to run anymore, and then the stuff will get through, and then we'll get a nice big buffer. We're going to get buffers in the furnaces too, because the furnaces will hold a full 100 plates in each one of them. So each one of those furnaces acts like a buffer as well. So see, you don't need big chests for buffers. It's just not necessary. There's buffers built into the game as it is. Out of curiosity, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, circuits, gear wheels, and plates. Circuits, gear wheels, and plates in a different ratio. I could build factories with this little factory I have here too, but then I need factories, circuits, gear wheels, and plates to build assembly machine Mark IIs. So that's not really in the cards just yet. All right. I think I am going to cut for now, and I'll be back in a moment once we get some of these supplies built, and I'll see you then. Okay, I'm starting to get the supplies that I need in right now, so let's take a peek. We're going to be making circuits. For circuits, we need 3 copper cables and 1 iron plate for each, so that's relatively easy to get copper cables to begin with, right? So let's start with some copper cables. All we're going to do here is split off of this particular line right here, so the rightmost line, and then we are going to just remerge that line into the bus right there. You can build a load, like a full 4-lane load balancer at this point, but we don't need to. We're not going to need all of this copper. We're just going to do that, and we're not actually going to let the copper flow. We're just going to run out like this, and I don't want this built too close in, because I want some room to run some more things along a bus here, like to move stuff in and join the bus in the future perhaps. So we're going to build this nice and far out, and I think what it's becoming nighttime. That's irritating, isn't it? I think something like right here is a good place to start. That way we've got lots of room over here to build anything else new that we might want to in the future. So we're going to build 3 factories just like that, and then up here we're going to build us 2 more factories just like that. And everybody who's played Factorio, you know, for more than like a month knows what we're doing here. New players who've played Factorio a little bit and know, you know, the basics of it, but don't know ratios for these copper cables to electronic circuits. This is basically the build that everybody and their donkeys are going to do early in the game until you get like beacons and stuff like that. This is the go-to. So we're gonna have copper coming in on these guys here, and they're going to need how much copper exactly? 1 copper plate every half second, which means a single fast inserter is all we need for this. So let's just pull in the center, why don't we? And we don't need that. And then each one of these is going to feed like this. So the center plant is going to feed to both of these. So it's 1.5 plants for each one of these good guys right here. So that's going to take care of that. Now we're going to need to get iron into these guys, and my little trick to get iron into these guys, which is not my trick exclusively because freaking everybody does it, like I said, is actually to bring it in on the sides like this. We're going to have iron lines come in. We're actually going to have a pair basically come in, so that we have a trunk. We have a good iron trunk coming in, because these guys eat up a shit ton of iron, and if we want to expand this down, we're going to need more than just a single line of iron coming in the future, because we're actually going to build this parallel up and down. So in order to make that happen, we're going to want iron lines coming in over here, and we're going to want to split in to join this. So, okay, no. What do I want to do? I want to have, do I want that? Maybe I want the outputs here instead. I think having the outputs here instead is actually going to work out better for me. Yeah, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to have the outputs there, which means they're going to join in here, and the iron is going to come up just like this. We are going to have to put underground belts in here, but for now, I think we're okay. Actually, do we want underground right here? Or do we want to underground it here? No, we want underground right here. We have to put underground right here. So we're going to put some underground belts in. We will do something like that, and we'll do something like that. And again, this is something that a lot of Factorio players do. I am not claiming that this is a unique thing to me by any stretch of the imagination. This is fairly common build for these kinds of things, so that's just fine. And we're going to put splitters right there and there. We're just going to pull iron right off of this belt here, and we're going to have another one of them come through over here. So down the center here, we are going to have belts. This is not just going to be, you know, nothing coming through. That's wrong, though. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need another set of splitters here. Let me get this oriented in my head and figure out exactly how I want to do this. Just 1 second. Alright, this is how I want to set it up. Like I said, I just needed another set of splitters in there is all we needed. I needed a second to get my head around that concept again. It's been a little while, guys. It's been a little while. So we're going to just build that through there like that. And we're going to build on this side another set of these. So you can set this up either. What we're going to do here is have the green circuits exit through a trunk in the center, a double lane trunk. And we're going to have 2 separate iron lanes come in. You could actually set this up with 2 separate iron lanes in the middle, which is what I started building, and then have the green circuits exit along the outer lanes. But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to bring the iron in along here just because it makes it a little more convenient for us. And that's all. That's the only reason. So these guys are going to come into here just like that, and just like that. And basically all we're going to do on this side is mirror the exact same thing. So we're going to build ourselves these 2 machines here, and then we're going to build a machine that's built in the center to straddle the 2 of them, and then out like this. And then we're going to want a copper line up the back, just like that, right? Okay, so that's going to take care of this, and now we just need to build all of the inserters that we need to make this happen. So if we were to build these guys like this, and then these guys like this, that's going to fill these up. How much? It needs 1 every half second, which means we have enough inserters. That's all we need. We don't need any more. Let's build ourselves a few more fast inserters, though, because I'm going to need them. Obviously, you can see this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 per like section. Yeah, we're going to need a few more. I've only got 7 available. So let's go ahead and bring this stuff in and do that there, just like that. And I've already got the belts for the escape, so that's perfectly fine. That's good. That's good. Belts for the escape are here, and then we will do this and do this. Okay, so that's all built up and good to go. Let's put some lights in, because nobody likes a dark factory, right? Everybody likes to have a little bit of light. And this is it. This is just 1 stamp. And because we are trunking this, we aren't relying on 1 belt of iron coming in or 1 belt of green circuits going out. We can actually stamp another one and then another one down. And as we upgrade the belts to be red belts, it'll work out even better. So this is a copper line coming in. We're going to need to extend the copper bus up to here. That's no problem. I got lots of Lots of belt on me, so let's just go ahead and do that now. And we've load balanced from 2 belts here. Again, the outer 2 belts, like the 2 leftmost belts here, have not actually been touched yet. We haven't pulled anything off of them. I haven't reload balanced, so they're not getting factored in. This is only these 2 rightmost belts that have even participated in anything here yet. So that is right there. So we're going to want this good guy right there, and we'll put a guy there. And then let's just, without actually connecting it, go in like that. Perfect. And we'll fill this in, and everything is good. Okay, so that's connected without actually connecting. And now we're going to need the iron, right? So I've got 2 lanes of iron that I'm going to need to bring in. We're just going to do the exact same thing with the iron, except there's one notable exception here, guys. The iron is going to have to go underground. Now, we could do this 2 ways. We could either send the copper underground and let the iron go through, or we could send the iron underground. The iron only uses 2 belts. And we have this set up so that there's 2 spaces in between, precisely because we want to use underground belts. So now you're going to move on up just like this. Not quite that far though. You're going to move up as well, not quite that far. And these 2 we can move up as far as we want because they aren't going to factor in here at all. We're actually just going to bring these guys all the way up to here because we can. Right? Sounds good to me. Then let's take a splitter here, just do that, and again we're just going to do the exact same thing right here, and we're going to load balance between these 2 belts only, right here and here. There we go. So we're going to get a bunch of iron off on this, and it's actually going to enter this area just now, so that's fine. And let's just, you know, finish this off with the copper as well. We'll have it enter the area. And this is going to give us green circuit production. And we can, you know, we could do this totally different. What we could do, if we really wanted high throughput here, and we might in the future, so we might do this, if we fully saturate these 2 rightmost iron lines, like just hammer them with input and make it so that it's 2 fully saturated belts, instead of splitting these 2 belts, what I could do is just take the belt itself and bleed it off into this. And then we'll only have 2 belts going down the main bus. We won't have 4 anymore, but we will have 2 very dense belts, like totally dedicated basically. So if we ever want to use like literally the entire belt in this, that's great. I'm hoping to be beyond belts by the time I actually want to do that though. So let's copy these 2 and let's copy these 3 over. That's good. And now all we need is power. I think all we need is power and we're good to go. I don't have access to any good power poles yet, but that's okay. We'll just go right up here. And then across to the copper. Yeah, just like that. And then we're just going to go right up here and into the bus. So we got power on the bus too. You can think of it like that way if you want. We've got power on the bus as well. How do I want the power? I maybe should have laid that out before. If I do that, and then I do that, and then that, and that. That's very much overkill for power on these guys, but whatever. I don't mind necessarily. So on this one, it's going to be, damn it, there and there. Yes, that's right. And then we're going to go right in the center. And then on either side, because we need to power the lights somehow, right? And then over here, are we just going to go in the corners? No, it's not in the corners. It's 1 in from the corners, it looks like. No, is it 1? Or is it 2? No, it's 1. It's 1 in from the corners, just like that. Okay, there we go. We're all powered up, and as you can see, we're making green circuits. These are chooching along just fine. Ratios are good, and we have another ingredient to add to the bus. I don't know if I'm going to put this next to steel or if I'm just going to have it like over here on its own. I might put it over here so that I can have like red circuits join up with it or something in the future. But I think that's a good time to cut off for this episode. What we have done, we have finished the smeltery. We've got it fully up and running. We've put our miners out for copper, and we finished off the iron and got steel going onto the bus. We've built out a bit of a main bus from this. We're starting to see the circuit look of Factorio that makes it look awesome, you know, that PCB circuit board layout coming up. And we've started, speaking of PCB circuit boards, a green circuit production chain over here, which is going to be robust and let us expand into the future. I'm going to see you next time. Hopefully you tune in, and we will build some iron gear wheels onto the bus and some various other stuff because I want to use those. I'll see you then.